Hi Robins, welcome back. I am hoping that the audio sounds okay on your end. So we're here to do the second part of our fall kitchen. We're going to be adding furniture and decor pieces to make this kitchen feel much more like home and not just the bones of the kitchen foundation that we did earlier. So if you did miss that stream, feel free to click on the video player below in the description excuse me, and you'll be able to see the first video. And if you're joining us from the first video to see how we decorated, welcome back. If you're joining us for the first time, hello, welcome in. And I hope everyone is ready for a nice relaxing treat. You can really enjoy putting together this fall kitchen. In our first video, we did all the appliances and we put up all the cabinets, also the island. We even made a special corner that we'll be decorating for in this video actually. So a lot of exciting stuff that's gonna happen. So grab your water, grab your tea, and let's get started. So first things first, let's look at some of the items that we're going to use in our space today. I'm going to wait for everything to load in properly. These are some of the things that I selected that made me feel very cozy, very warm. And I wanted a kitchen that reflects the season that we're in. Just adding a few touches. Even if you already have your kitchen, it's already done, there's bits and pieces that you can add to it to make it feel a little bit more like fall. So I hope you find some goodies to add to your kitchen today. Hi Ebony, hello. Hi Keisha, hello. Welcome back. Please let me know if the audio sounds good on your end and it's not too loud, it's not too soft. So we're going to head back inside now and add some pieces to really tie in the whole feel of this kitchen that we're going for. Just going to wait for everything to load back in. Hi, 𝐴𝑍. Welcome. So let's get our camera back outside so we can grab a few items. So by the stove, I wanted to add a backsplash and a few things that I felt would really tie in the fall. So let's do the backsplash, excuse me, and a few things over the stove area that I will be using. And see what else we can use from our lovely collection of everything. So maybe we can use this kettle and this light fixture. So the kitchen is from Craftworks and Fancy Decor. I modified it with the kitchen from Dust Bunny and Consignment. They're both available. Everything is going to be available in the credits below. It's also in the credits in the first part of the stream where I show you how to build on the foundation of your kitchen. So now that we have laid down beautiful bones, we are going to decorate it to make it even more beautiful. Let's get some of these items I selected on over. Just gonna move it out of the way so I could select as I go along. Okay. So first, I really want to add a backsplash. I keep saying backslash. Backsplash. And this is by Driftwood. I really like the wooden tones. And I'm not going for a modern kitchen. I'm going for a mixture of rustic, carbon-like feel with a modern touch to it. Just because you have a modern kitchen doesn't mean everything has to be modern. It can be eclectic as well. I'm just going to add this in to make the wall pop behind the stove. Give it a little bit of personality. I'm going to resize it. I think I'm going to have two there. I like how the wood looks behind. And I just want to make sure that the pipe is on the wall properly. Let me just get my camera tools because we're going to need them. Okay, there we go. Remember, always use your camera tools when you're decorating. It's going to help you so much. Make sure that this is on the wood and not in the wood. This is a nice little rustic feel. Thank you, Ebony. You are amazing too. Hi, Avril. Welcome. Okay, so let's add our pots and this lovely kettle. So like I said, I'm going for like a gold rustic feel. I want it to feel cozy. gonna put this kettle gonna put it on a cooling plate. It's a little big, so that's okay. We're just gonna make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so making a kettle smaller. Just because we purchase it one size doesn't mean it has to stay that one size. You know, some of our avatars are different proportions. We have larger avatars, we have smaller avatars. So make sure when you're decorating for yourself because you want to enjoy your space. Make sure that it's not floating. Now we move it all the way back. Now we're gonna add our pot rack. This is by Hive, and I really love her kitchen accessories. They really make the kitchen fun. So if you don't have accessories for the kitchen, I highly recommend checking out the Hive. Just gonna make sure that this is not floating and it's actually touching. Looks good to me. So we have our accessories. So in the spirit of fall, I decided to use the 𝐴𝓁𝓁 hook. It's really cute. And I'm going to hang it on the top of our cabinet, just over our stove, to add a little bit of a fall flair. Don't be afraid to bring your wreaths and your fall treats into kitchens, because why not? We're centering it. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so it doesn't hang too low. Welcome back, Anola. So we're going to make this a little bit smaller. Put it up a little bit. And as you can see, there's a hook. So put the hook inside of, I guess, behind the cabinet. What appears to be behind the cabinet. You want it to look like you really stood up on a stool and hooked up your wreath holder in the cabinet, okay? So always check for floating items. And let's get this wonderful wreath that I found from Meshwork. And I like this because it has like these little oranges and the pine cones. Like I feel like I can almost smell it. All that fallness. Okay. So we want this to look like it is on the wreath holder. So we're gonna make it smaller. I'm gonna move it forward. I like to call it dancing it in. Making sure that it's small enough, it looks like it's not going through anything. Looks real. And and that's what we want. So now that we have our lovely stove area, it's like beautiful, it's fun. Let's add some curtains. So let me take us on back outside where we have all our beautiful selections lined up. And I'm going to drag this curtain inside. So I'm not going to put the curtain all the way to the top like here. I'm going to line it up with the top of our cabinets. That way it flows, the eye flows at one level. So I unchecked stretch both sides. I'm only using one side because I don't want to move the other side. I already got it lined up. And it's flickering a bit, so I'm going to shrink it on in a little bit. That way. And we have a little curtain. It's a little long for me. I like to bring some of the outside in, so I'm going to make this a little shorter. I think I like that. So now let's copy the curtain over to our other windows. We do have a few windows in here. Let's bring this over. So I'm putting them on the frame of the window because I feel like if I stretch the curtain too much, it will become, the shape will become distorted, and I want to preserve as much of the shape as I can possibly can, so it looks real and it doesn't look too fake, doesn't look like a toy, it looks more realistic. So I'm gonna make this a little bit flat because as you can see, the curtain has movement. It looks like wind is blowing and the curtain's lifted. So I'm going to shrink it in because from this view, I don't want too much wind on the curtain. One trick when you're decorating, always decorate from the eye view, okay? So if I'm coming into a space, you want things to be facing where you're coming from, like where you're coming in from. If that makes any sense. I hope it does. So it can look crazy in the back scenes or below it, but once you're coming into space, it should look welcoming and all the items should be facing my direction. It's a good way to pull people into the space and welcome them in. Okay. So let's get one of the biggest pieces that is going to be in the kitchen. I'm going to do a dining set. right before in front of the island. Like I mentioned before in our previous stream, that we weren't going to be worrying about how dark this piece on the island was because it was going to be hidden by furniture. So let's bring in some of our furniture that we have on the outside. I'm just going to minimize the big camera too. So these chairs are from Dust Bunny, and like I said, I'm going for more of a rustic, cozy, off-them theme. So I'm going for a little bit of dark colors. I wanted to really play on the wood that we have in our backsplash. So I think I'm going to use brown, and like I've always said, pick out your colors first before you pull the scripts out, okay? You don't want to pull any scripts out. You don't have to go back, you know. You don't want to position your furniture and then have to go back and redo it because, you know, hey, I didn't like the red, I like the green. So you want to make sure that you know your colors before you go in. So for this kitchen, I want something a little bit dark, so a little bit cozy, a little bit of warmth. I'm going to go with brown. And I'm going to use those 3 pieces as well as this table. So let's get these 3 pieces, get all of them selected, and let's go back to our set. Let's bring that inside. Going to move this over for a moment. Let's work on the chairs first. So I'm not too worried about the legs right now. What I am trying to line everything up with is the counter. Again, I want everything facing my entrance. Coming in, I'm welcoming everyone in. So my furniture is going to be facing that direction. I want the sofa to align with the countertop and not too high, not taller than it. There we go, a little space, that's fine. And we have the kind of L corner seat. Just gonna turn that in. Find its place, there we go. Bring that one on in. Make sure it lines up. Move it over a little bit. Okay, we have a nice space there. Okay. And our single seat. So I really fell in love with the texture of this table. I really love how warm it feels, and it also really matches the backsplash over the stove really well. There's a few things that needs to happen though. It is way too big, and so we're gonna have to make it smaller. want to make sure that it's actually on the ground first. So let's edit stretch parts, edit length parts, and stretch. We're going to select one part. This is going to look a mess, but it's fine. Don't be scared. Just going to make it a little not so high. And we're going to get bird's eye view from the top. I'm going to shrink the size in. I want to leave a little bit of leg space. And now the legs are separate on both ends, so you're gonna have to do this step twice. That's fine. We got this. We're Robins. Gonna make this one a little bit short. Just follow the shadows. If you're unsure, there are shadows on each end. Again, I don't have stretch both sides selected, so I have more control over stretching one side at a time. There are situations where we need to stretch all sides, and that works perfectly. But I want more of a control, so doing one side at a time. Let's do this side as well. Also, I feel like the table is way too long. Let's make it shorter as well. I think right about here. It's not longer than our island, so to me that's perfect. You don't want something to overwhelm your main attraction, the island where the food is going to be and be preparing. You want a conversation area. So let's move this up. We have to move this back a little bit. Just check again. Still great. Check for your shadows. Make sure your shadows are not overwhelming. Bring it in. Okay. I feel that this looks like it was bought like this. I'm gonna raise it up a little bit. And that works for me. Now, the legs on this chair, we did sink into the floor and we want to shorten the legs a little bit. So again, edit link parts and select faces. I'm going to bring this menu over and we're going to click on the legs. And you're going to very going to pull this up a little bit right there until you see your shadow and it's not flickering. Let's bring this end up a little bit as well. Not flickering. Again, we're only selecting on the leg. Don't try to stretch the entire sofa. It really distorts it, and we're just wanting the legs to be shorter. I can move the table off a little bit. Great space. It's not longer than our island, and it's not taller than our island. So those are things that we were looking for. And oh, I just realized that we need to add some lights over our stove, and refrigerator. Okay. So these shepherd hook lights from 𝐹𝑜𝓁𝓁, I just love the rustic feel of them. And I wanted to add these to kind of just build on our... And I noticed this is a little taller. Ooh, I see an error. So I'm going to fix it. When you see an error somewhere, fix it. Let's bring this down a little bit. Okay. Make sure our hook is still a hook and not floating. And now let's bring our beautiful shepherd hook wall lamps in from 𝐹𝑜𝓁𝓁. We're going to start on this end. Now you're going to make it a little bit smaller because of course the base is way too big for there. So let's use stretch both sides and stretch. In this situation, you're stretching everything at once. So stretch both sides will be easier to use. It's okay to lose some of it into the top of the cabinet. That's perfectly fine. So I'm going to add one in the middle over here. And again, to copy an item, you hold shift and you just drag while holding shift. It must be a item that you can copy and not a old gotcha, unless you are buying gotchas now in today's days where gotchas are copyable. But if they're old gotchas, they are not. So now we have these beautiful lamps, and it gives us this like rustic barn life, but not in a barn house. I love them. So let's add some more lights. Let's add the chandelier that I picked out. And I really like this chandelier piece. It does complement this space really, really nicely. Your light selection can really change the personality of your space. So be careful when you're picking out different light fixtures. This is also from 𝐹𝑜𝓁𝓁, and this is a perfect height for the ceiling that we do have in this house. I don't have to make it longer, but for those of you that have higher ceilings, it does get really tricky trying to make it longer. So let's see if I can figure out how to do that for you, because it doesn't come with the extra chains. I do think that some designers do need to look into putting extra chains for those that have higher ceiling houses. It will be such a blessing to have that. So as you can see, this is how it's broken down. I'm gonna unlink this part right here. I'm just showing you this for your own to know, I guess. Get this out of the way. So, like I said, it's a little bit complicated, and I'm going to make a copy of this light before I completely ruin this one. I have to start all over. I have to dig in my lovely, lovely, heavy inventory. I'm going to copy this over because we're going to use it as is. This is only for those that have higher ceilings and want to use this light fixture, chandelier. So this part is attached to the chandelier. You're going to rotate this around. And you're going to lower it because you cannot make the base of this invisible. If you try, the entire thing will go invisible because they're the same texture, same tone. So we're going to lower the base of this. You can put it here. It looks like it's a part of it. You can lower it into it, however you want to put it. Turn it around so it looks like the loops are going into the hook. Rotate. Sorry. Let's get a little closer. So you can rotate this around so it gives an illusion that the chain is not going into each other. And of course we just took that extra copy from our duplicate chandelier, and it is right here. We can move it up. And this is how you make your chandelier longer for those of you that have high ceilings and just get frustrated that your chandelier does not have the extra chains. I know I have so many times in the past. It's just a quick modification, duplication, and figuring out how you really want it to all look. I simply link the last part and you have a longer chandelier. Boom. For me, for this kitchen, I don't feel like I need a much longer chandelier, or else it would be too much in my face or in my guest face. So the short one works. The ceiling height is perfect for me. But like I've said, I've come across many situations where the ceiling is very high and you don't see the beauty of the chandelier at all. So just gonna remove the longer one, and we're gonna stick with the short one. I like to have two chandeliers. Don't ask me why, it's just a habit. It really gives it a nice realistic feel. And guys, when you're decorating something that you've duplicated, to make sure that it doesn't look so organized, so well put together, move it around a little bit by rotating it so it feels like, you know, it was hanged and it's not so aligned, it's not neat, it's, you know, nothing really hangs lined up like that in real life unless you set it to do that. And we want a realistic feel in our kitchen. We want to bring a lot of realistic touches to our second life, and it's the little details that really gives you that feel. Okay, so we have our chandelier, we have our light fixtures all put up, our stove is done. We are going to decorate the top of our table, but before we do that, I really want to tackle this special corner that I promised we was going to do. So let's go outside. We're gonna make this a small study nook. So let's bring some items in from outside. We have this lovely office chair from 𝐹𝑜𝓁𝓁. as well as a laptop and some books. I do want to bring in some plants because plants are a nice way to channel your energy into really focusing. You see life growing and it means something, you know? And I really love this pumpkin flower to add as a fall touch to our little corner. And these decorative pieces by Craftwork. I'm really loving the little pieces that she's been making. They really do add a little oomph to the space. Let's see what else we can steal from here. Oh, coffee. Who doesn't love some fall coffee while studying? Okay. Okay, so let's select these pieces. So no, Ebony, the counters did not come with the house. These counters were created by us, the Robins, in our last stream. We was able to modify a lot of pieces to make it fit perfectly into this house. So I'm gonna select all the pieces that we'll be using in our little study nook. And let's bring that in. Over. Aside. And first things first, let's bring in our lovely office chair. And this is why we did not put any cabinets below here, so that we would have space for our feet. Laptop. Our books. I'm just going to rest everything close to the countertops so that I can really get my hands in them and make them the correct sizes that they need to be. Okay, this looks like a big old mess. So let's make the books a little bit smaller. And I want to kind of fill up the corner without using too much. The way you angle a piece of furniture or decor can really either free up space or make the space feel full, and I want the desk to feel full. So I catty-cornered it. That makes sense. I think that's a Caribbean term. I just made it this way. I hope it's not a Caribbean term. That's so funny. And our coffee. I'm going to turn the handle on the outside, because we'll be grabbing it for a little sip here and there. Bring it down here. Just want to get a little bit closer, make sure. There we go, things are floating. So we're gonna bring the book down, bring our laptop down. Our teacup, perfect. Not so close to the laptop, very expensive laptop. Okay. I want to add a little pumpkin plant. Let's make this a little bit smaller. And this is by 𝐹𝑜𝓁𝓁𝑜𝓌. Okay. Let's bring these down. Remember, a kitchen could be a functional space as well. It's where you want to entertain your friends. I love making little nooks to study or to do work in the kitchen. Pretend that I'm paying my SL bills. Well, probably, yeah, I'm paying my SL bills, figuring that out. And now I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Yeah, they're a little too tall for me. I don't want them to be overpowering. I just want them to be subtle and gorgeous as they are. Again, make sure everything is not floating and it's touching our desk. Perfect. So our plants are from 𝐹𝑜𝓁𝓁𝓏 and 𝐹𝑜𝓁𝓁. Always check to make sure everything is not floating. There we go. Looks like everything is touching. Just gonna make a quick check to make sure everything is perfectly down. Okay, so that looks good. And now we have a cute nook. We can look out the window, get our inspiration, draw that inspiration in, and get some work done while our friends, our partners, our loved ones is baking up a storm, baking us a pie. It's a great little nook space. I'm just going to try my eye on chat. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot them my way. No, not all of my items are from Craftwork. Craftwork is one of my lovely sponsors, and I really do like working with her items, and so I like showcasing them as well. So her items were fitting for this particular set. I love the kitchen that she did with Fancy Decor, and I was definitely going to show you how to use it because I'm in love with it. So I'm hoping that you guys are loving these pieces too. So let's make another modification. There is this empty space, and empty spaces bother me. So we're going to try to fill in this space with a breakfast cart. I'm sorry, I believe it's a coffee station, not a breakfast cart. So let's go on outside and pick up our lovely pieces. So you can use the Dust Bunny coffee station as is. I am going to modify it because I'm going for the wood feel with a cart from Craftworks. Now there's a reason for my madness. But before we switch them out, I am going to change the wood color to match the wood that we have here. And I think this one actually works though. I can show you the other colors that they do have. Very, very warm tones, very sweet. I think this one works a little bit better for me. Let me just look at, I think this one works a little bit better for me. I like that wood tone. So this is not my personal house, skybox, place to live. I am just using this as a set for us to do different decorating rooms. So I'm hoping that this will be something that we could continue doing with different houses, and we just pick a room and decorate a room as we go along. But my personal space where Quincy resides at the end of the day, that's pretty much done. There is a video, a stream actually, an old one, that we gave a tour of my current skybox. So you can also, if you haven't seen it, it's in, I can also link you to that one as well. So this cart, the reason why I chose the carts, because they both have 3 levels. And it would be easy for me to pull it off. So I'm not going to pull them off one by one, because as you can see, they're different parts and it will take me forever to pull them off one by one. So I'm just going to remove the cart. I'm going to remove this cart and we're going to unlink it. And what we're going to do is position it and then manipulate the size of the wooden cart to fit. Okay. Make sure nothing is coming through. Alright, so we do have one side. And let's stretch it. On one side, we're going to do edit link parts and stretch. We'll start with the cart, and we're going to stretch it out until everything looks like it's sitting in their respectable places and it's not going in on the sides. Do have to make it a little bit wider. Okay. Now for our wheels, it's up to you to add your wheels or remove your wheels. I'm going to keep them. Remember to follow the shadow. Okay. So now we have a new coffee station that's made of wood. And it does go with our whole feel. I am going to take the 𝐴𝓁𝓁𝑔s out because it's too springish and I'm looking for something that's a little bit more fall. Wait a minute. So we can actually remove these because it's one piece, it's not attached to anything else. We don't have to make it invisible. So we're going to unlink this piece. And we can just delete it. Okay. And I will be adding a different flower to, or maybe branches to our little vase as we go on. And I think this is going in a little bit. I don't know if it is. Is it? Yeah, it is. Okay. Let's open that up a little bit more. Okay. Okay. Looks good to me. And now we can get rid of the steel cart. Now if the steel cart is great for you as is, you can keep it as is. But for me, I wanted the whole woody feel to really cozy up my kitchen. Well, our kitchen. Okay. So now let's go to this wall right here. and get pieces for there. I'm looking at the chat. Well, decorating, I would have to say over the years, if you really keep at decorating, it should not feel hard. It becomes second nature. It just clicks. If you're trying it out for the first, second time, third time, it can get very stressful, especially when you don't know what you're doing or you're confused and your ideas of themes and looks are different, so it can really confuse you. But that's okay. That's why we're here. We're gonna do this together. We're gonna figure it out, okay? So we're outside again. And let's select some pieces for the countertops. You know what? Since we're in that corner, let's add some artwork as well. And some books that's gonna go in our little corner. Coffee. Maybe some muffins. I think that would be nice. A basket of pins. Coffee. I think this tray would be nice too. So tray. I think I'll take all of these right here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. As well as these two artworks over there. And that should be great for our corner. Just bring that in. To let go of them, and I'm going to grab these two pieces, bring them down too high. Okay. Lovely mess. Okay. So these books are also from Craftwork. They're part of her rack collection, I believe. Just want to see. Kitchen rail collection. And so let's add this piece on the wall. I really like this piece because it had the little books, which was perfect for our study nook. Bring it down, tie it in. Putting pieces and artwork on your wall really does make the room feel more cozy, more full. And it tricks the eye to look up, down, and all around. You want people to just be in awe with your decorating skills. So always try and put something on the wall. This cafe frame is from 𝐹𝑜𝓁𝓁. I love, 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 love their art pieces. So if you're ever in need of art pieces, you don't know where to go, 𝐹𝑜𝓁𝓁 is the place to be. Make make sure that it is on the wall. And remember, when we're hanging art, we'll try to get it at eyesight. In this case, just a little bit above the head is perfect for me. Just gonna move these pins over there for a moment. It's our tray with peaches. As you can see, we did excuse me, we did add a piece of countertop here, and you can see a little bit of a difference. Not too much unless you really stand and stare. But we're gonna hide that. Gonna give it a little illusion. Use a peach to hide that. Now for our coffee. Let's move that out of the way for now. And we have some yummy muffins, cranberry muffins from 𝐹𝑜𝓁𝓁. So I personally would not leave muffins out without a cover. Yeah, I know I'm picky. So here's a little cute way to kind of make it look realistic. But you don't have to do this. This is just my preference. Remember our little plant in the corner? Hello, plant. This is one prim. We're gonna just copy this plant over. Again, when we're doing things that are one prim, that means they cannot be unlinked. There's nothing to unlink. So we do have this entire plant selected. I just want the glass case. I have it selected. I'm going to click on edit link parts, select faces, and I'm going to click one time on just the glass. I'm still selecting all the other pieces. And now I'm going to go over texture. I'm going to set it to 100. Bye-bye, plant. It's still there. You can see the outlining of it, but once you let it go, it's no longer there. So we're going to use this as our muffin case. Protect the muffin at all costs. And we're going to make sure the muffin fits into the case properly. A bird's eye view. Stretch it a little bit. Stretch it inwards. To a complete 360. Make sure nothing is hanging out. Okay. There we go. It's in the case. It's floating. We're still holding on to it, so I am going to lower it down. There we go. So now we have muffins and our beautiful case over it. No bugs. It's gonna eat our muffins. It's for us. Make sure it's not going into the wall as I'm backing it up. And it's not touching our coffee cup handle. It's perfect. See how that looks? Great. And this corner, I'm not going to put too much on the countertops. Just going to put these rolling pins and our jams out. And the jams this way. Okay. Make sure it's not floating. The basket is a little, so we can bring that down. Okay. That looks okay. Okay. So now for this corner, let's get some details going here. And again, let's go outside and grab a few items. And I'm just gonna throw my eye on chat, see what's going on over there. So you want to make the muffins smaller, you make them bigger? I hear you. I hear you. I understand. Bigger muffins, small. I love it. I love it. You guys are funny. Okay, so let's work on this corner, our new corner. Okay, so I think this is where we're gonna have our pots and the rice strainer, yeah, air fryer, and this air fryer by Craftwork. Guys, I love this air fryer. I'm gonna promote this air fryer forever. I'm gonna use it forever. And let's get the cake mixer. That'd be nice. Oh, and we can use some shelves as well. We can add some shelves on the wall. Some books and maybe some herbs. Flower too. Oh, I think we can use this whole corner right here. That'd be nice. Yeah. Let's use these things here. These are what's going in the corner. Okay. come inside. Okay. These shelves are really pretty. They're also from Craftworks. A lot of things are from Craftworks. So, just gonna make them a little bit bigger. And I think they can change the metal. Yes, metals. Let's make it aged gold. Oh, yes. It's nice. And maybe aged wood, probably. Like, let's see what type of wood they have. Dark wood, white wood, worn wood. Okay. I think I can live with the worn wood. Very pretty. Okay. Move this over a little bit. Move it up. Let's copy another one up. Okay. Let's put herbs on the shelf. See if it fits. Perfect. It's like it was meant to fit there. It's great. And these pieces are from 𝐹𝓗𝓁𝓁. A wonderful addition to add to your kitchen. Okay. Let's add a book to our shelf because we love our little education. Love reading. Have a small plant. I believe this is from 𝐹𝓗𝓁 as well. No, actually it's from 𝐹𝑜𝓁. Okay, now matches so well. Smaller. You can make this smaller as well. This over. Bring our plant down and onto our shelf. Make sure our book is not floating on the shelf. Bring it down. Bring the plant down. Perfect. And now let's get kitchen accessories, appliances. Our air fryer. I was so happy to get Quincy an air fryer because I'm enjoying my real life air fryer. So once I saw that an air fryer was created in Second Life, I have to have it. Let's get our pots and everything else set up as well. Okay, nothing looks to be floating. Everything looks to be sitting on top of our countertops perfectly. Just gonna move this one up a little bit because it's flickering, and there we go. That should be great. There we go. So this corner is pretty full, pretty done. So now we have this wall that we added the ovens to. So let's decorate this wall. Sharing some air fryer recipes, huh? Okay, well, the season is coming for all the goodies and the treats. So I'm expecting you all to bring some recipes as well. So let's grab some pieces for this corner. When in doubt, you have an empty wall, always add art, because it fills it up perfectly. So I'm going to add a little stool sitting space. I think I'm going to use the stool. Just going to move the stool. Okay, there we go. I'm going to use these items. 1, 2, 3. 3. maybe 5. That should work. Let's try that. See how that looks. So when I'm decorating a space, I try to think about the functionality of the space and who will be using the space and what for. And also the location plays a big factor in how you decorate. And I'm going to tell you why now. For this house, the entrance is here. So we're walking in to the hallway, and then immediately to the left of us, we have a kitchen. So I'm thinking you come in, you thrack through the kitchen, sit down, there's a little bench, you can take your shoe off. I'm putting a little bench. These pieces would not, they will make you look away from the black and white differences of the wall, where the cabinet begins and the wall begins. You wouldn't notice it much, if that makes sense. It's an illusion that everything's on one wall. It's really not. Okay. Remember, hanging pictures always at eye level or just above eye level. Measure your avatar. And I think this is perfect right there. And that art piece is a part of 𝐹𝑜𝓁𝓁 collection. So let's bring this forward. The apron is from the Hive. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful pieces. And we have the garden shoes, because we came through the kitchen in our garden shoes. We're just gonna leave it right here on the corner. And we are going to take the daisies out. We want it to be a little bit more fall. So let's hue them, not hue them, but make them invisible. Texture, transparency, 100. The shadow is not horrific. It still looks like gloves, but it's not too summerish. Again, we're tracking through the house and we have bags of groceries. Just gonna put it on the chair. Dive right into our little bench and dive right into getting the pumpkin pie out of the oven. So I want to fold this chair up, this bench up, actually, not chair. Just gonna move it over a little bit. And it's not centered, so let's make it centered. There we go. Great. Let's fill it up with grocery bags. So we're gonna make a copy of it. The only thing I don't like with making copies is that they look so much alike. Who goes out and buys this exact same things? So I am going to remove the groceries. There's the groceries. Bye-bye. So we're going to unlink it. Keep the bag. and delete some of our groceries. Push this bag back a little bit. And when you're dealing with flat items on a curved item, try and lean your item to go with the flow of the chair, the bench. Keep saying chair. And that way it doesn't look like it's floating. I'm gonna push this back a little bit. We have room. Okay. Perfect. And we have our bag, our empty bag, and we have our filled bag. Again, to get it to flow, you have to rotate them with the curve of the bench. Okay. Just minimize that. Get this out of the way. All right. So now we just have the table and our island to do. So let's do our island. I don't think I'm going to be putting too much on the island. I think we can bring everything in. Well, let's do it in steps. This maybe. Ooh, soap. Definitely, we need to wash our dishes with soap. The cutting board, perfect. I love seeing cutting boards on islands. It means you're cooking and I am invited. I'm going to use these pieces. Yeah, let's use those pieces. Let me go around to our lovely island that we created in our first stream earlier today, and let's lift some of these things up. Let's minimize. Okay. So the hand soap, dish soap, and hand lotion is from Craftworks. Love it. And it's a part of their kitchen clutter. Now remember that I said when you're coming into a room, you want people to see things. So I'm going to make the labels face the entranceway. In real life, the labelings will probably face you from this side of the kitchen, but this is Second Life and we want to draw people's eye in, so we make it face that way. Okay. Make sure that it is sitting properly. that's a fun way, a trick to actually draw people's eyes in. It's just watching how you're positioning the labeling on items. This is a beautiful pumpkin, one of my favorite pumpkins from 𝐹𝑜𝓁𝓁. This is a beautiful vase as well, also from 𝐹𝑜𝓁𝓁. I just love his potteries, are so amazing to me. Let's get that one flickering. There we go. This piece, this vase, autumn plant oak, is from Hive, and I love it. However, I do want to switch the vase, and I'm going to click on the vase, and it's a separate piece. I am going to unlink the vase, and we're going to get rid of the vase. It's no longer a part of our piece. The shadow at the bottom, edit link parts, and select faces and click on the shadow. I'm going to get rid of the shadow altogether, 100 on transparency in the texture tab. And now we're going to position this beautiful autumn leafy branch into our vase. I'm going to make it lean a little bit because, you know, in my mind it's probably heavy. It's just going to fall with the vase, and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so it's not too much. Don't be afraid to mix and match things. I do it all the time because I want to feel like I have this and nobody else has it. So mix and match things and make it, personalize it for you, for your liking. So I think that looks okay. We checked around, made sure that nothing is poking through. It's in there. Pretty good. So we're gonna link this together. Link. So that we can now move this as one piece. Perfect. A little beautiful little house. This piece is from 𝐹𝑜𝓁𝓁. It's called barn utensils jar. It's so cute. I'm just gonna make it a little bigger. And we want to make sure that the handle on our vase isn't going through anything, so we're gonna use our bird eye view from above. We want them to be together because they look really nice grouped together, so you don't want them to go into each other. We'll space them out correctly. Look from above. It's the best way to see that they're not touching each other, just beautifully next to each other and complementing each other. There you go. And now we're going to add our chopping block. Well, not chopping block, our knife block. Make sure nothing is floating. There we go. We have little floaters. We have floaters. Gotta bring it down. beautiful little chopping block from Vespertine. I have all the spices. I'm sure that smells amazing. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, not too big. Oh gosh, I think that's okay. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Does that look fallish for you all? You don't need a lot to make a space feel full. Little decor pieces do the work for you. Okay, so now our little table, we have to decorate it because we have guests coming over and we want to show off all our fall items. You know, we have to bring out all the beautiful things and show off a little bit. So one of my favorite pieces to add to a table is a bowl, and I like to add fall pieces to it, pumpkins, a little bit of plants here and there. And so I enjoy this one particular piece from the Loft and Aria. This is my favorite item from the Loft and Aria. It's called Catch-All Bowl. It's just big, it's woody, it's beautiful, and I can fill it with pumpkins. So I do have these pumpkins here. And I think I'm going to use this plant as well to give it a little oomph. A little oomph. And these wine glasses. Okay. I think we have these pieces selected. Let's go back in. Hopefully everything loads up. Make this small. Let's bring them inside. Looks like we didn't grab our catch-it-all bowl. It's okay, let's go back and grab it. There we go. This is gonna be our main attraction on this table. Oh, Quincy. All right, step out of the way just a moment. So let's add our pumpkins. Let's start with, let's get a little closer and minimize this one. And make sure your pumpkin is not coming through the bowl. One pumpkin. And let's look for orange pumpkins. Let's put that one there. And let's add one more in the bowl. Make this one a little bit bigger. You can also make the bowl a little bit smaller as well. Okay. And I want to lean this pumpkin a little bit forward so it looks full, looks like it's not uniformed. And the way it fell into the bowl wasn't perfect. And I'm just gonna rest this other pumpkin on top. I want to turn, actually I want to turn the stem around because the stems are going in the same direction. So let's put this way. Sure it's not going into each other, it's just resting on top of each other. Want this to fall forward a little bit. Okay. And this vase is also from the Hive. It's an autumn plant called chestnut. Really pretty. Again, we're not using the vase pretty, but we just want the branches. And again, we're going to check for shadows at the bottom. Select faces, and we're going to get rid of that shadow. 100 in the transparency tab. Move this over. Let's get rid of this vase. We don't need it. Quite big, so let's make it smaller. Okay, we're looking all around it to make sure nothing is poking into anything. And it gives us a nice little fall bowl. We can move this down a little bit onto our table. And while we're here, let's take some of these branches and add it to our breakfast nook. Why do I keep saying breakfast nook? Our coffee station. This is our coffee station. And remember, we remove the 𝐴𝓁𝓁𝑜𝓌, so we're just gonna add some fall branches. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Okay, I think that's as small as it goes. Okay. Remember to lean it to make it feel like it's in the vase and it's actually falling that way, because it's heavy. You have to, I think when you're making things look a little realistic, you have to consider the weight of items and how they will be positioned in different places. Pumpkin lose a little bit of color there for a moment. All right, now we have some wine because it's fall and we're inviting our friends over for a wonderful glass of red wine. Now remember, to make something inviting, always bring the label forward. And we have an extra chocolate pumpkin. I'm just gonna add it to the tabletop right here between the wine and the bowl. So it's not like perfectly neat, but also it still flows. Okay. Beautiful table that now we can entertain at. Right? So now we have our fall kitchen, but it's not done because we need a rug. So I did select a rug which is going to tie in everything perfectly. And I also have this one little treat that I'm going to show you guys to add a little bit more of a fall touch to our space. Okay. Let's bring that in. Okay, that's our rug. The shelf I'm going to put into the hallway for now. And I think our rug got lost in the floor. Well, there goes our rug. Okay. So I'm going to make a copy of this rug 3 times, but for under the table, I'm going to keep it the size that it is. I'm going to bring it all the way in. Not too much. I think there is perfect. Bring that back a little bit. And now everything's kind of stuck in the rug. You can pull it up. Lower the rug to make sure that's on the floor. And everything that's stuck in the rug, we can simply just click it along with the items on top of the table. So if you haven't linked it yet, things in your bowl, you would have to select them one at a time. And now we can pull it up until we see a nice shadow. And that's totally fine. We're going to use this same rug again over by the sink. And remember to copy something, click on the item, hold shift, and drag. This is quite large, and I'm looking for something that's a little bit smaller. So let's make it smaller. This rug has a lot of details in it. It's quite cute. But all these pieces we have to make sure they're stretched properly. So if you have the time to do this, it's worth it. Take your time and line up the pieces with the shadow. Okay. I have a rug to stand on when I am doing the dishes, and I want a rug one more time over here under my little office chair for my study nook. And you're going to raise the chair up. Okay, so I have one more thing that I want to show you all that you can probably do if you're wanting to add a little bit more fall touch. This shelf is from xoxo, and I love that it has the little oranges on it. It does look a little bit Christmas-ish, and we're not ready for Christmas yet. We want to enjoy fall. So we're going to remove first the shelf because we don't need the shelf. Like that, and we can delete the shelf. And at the pine leaves, we could as well touch them, and you can see it lights up. You can move them off. There's also the gray parts of the leaves that we can move up as well. So let's get rid of those two pieces, and I just want the wood and the oranges. This orange piece, really pretty. Gonna make it a little bit smaller. I'm gonna bring it closer to the top of your cabinets. Watch out for pieces that are going into the cabinet. We don't want that now. And click copy, and we're going to rotate it backwards. It's going to get a little darker, which is fine. It's okay. still preserve the beauty of it. If you want to add just a little bit more fall touches to your kitchen, just to really decorate it and have it feeling extremely like fall, you can add simple decorations like this to make it feel a little bit more like fall, if you want. So that's a little trick that I wanted to show you all. And let's take a look at our kitchen. So this entire time I had been talking and you guys can't hear me. Oh my goodness. So I was saying, thank you guys so much for decorating with me today. It was like really amazing to have everyone in the chat. I love you all. Thank you for the support. And I'm going to be putting out a poll later on today to find out what our next decorate with the robins will be like and what we will be taking on next for the fall season. So again, I appreciate all of my robins that were in the chat. And I did give April a shout out and say thank you so much, April, for the comment on my AO. I think you all are amazing. You guys mean a lot to me. And I'm so happy to see so many of you turning out to support my channel. So thank you. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed as yet. Welcome to our family. Like this video as it does help the channel grow. And yes, it was hilarious. But yes, I'm really happy that we're able to decorate and navigate through the decorating life in Second Life. When I first started, it was very difficult trying to figure out how to make things work. And when I started, there weren't copyable items. So we are really lucky. We've come such a long way. And whatever I learn along the way, I am willing to share. So if you have any questions, anything at all, please leave a comment down below. I will be leaving the credits in the comment section once the video is done. If you haven't seen the first part of the stream, definitely go over there and check it out. It does have great tips on how to combine different kitchens to have the refrigerator style that you want, and appliances, and how to build up your cabinets, and even add in a sweet wine cooler. So again, guys, I really appreciate you. I love you guys so much. You're the reason why I get on here and make these videos. Love hanging out with you, love chatting. Say hi to me when you see me in public. I love to hear from my robins. Yes, ESO has really come a long way, and we are still growing. So if you're just a side viewer, you're not in SL yet, what are you waiting for? There's a link in the description. Click join and I'll see you on the grid. So I do have a lot of things in store for us this fall season. So again, be on the lookout. I will be posting more, guys. Yay. So again, love you all. Thank you so much for being a part of the Robin family, and I'll see you all soon. So for now, be safe, be cozy, be great. I'll see you soon. Bye, Robins. Thank you.